time, never time. OT, baby. Okay, it's not the concert. Brett Velicovich.
I'm like,
also, I love your wife.
I was so your wife is in the studio, and she's so lovely.
I'd love for
you guys are gorgeous together.
She's awesome.
You literally are like my relationship goals, and I'm already married. But anyway, I was, at the end of the show, I was going to boldly say your last name one more time, and then I looked across studio and I said, "So, do you go by Mrs. Velicovich?" And you're like, "No, I kept my maiden name."
To which his response was, "That's messed up."
Oh, you said that's messed up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. We were on the air, so I'm sure the audience heard it. Anyway, what'd you think of that first hour under your belt of Outnumbered?
I enjoyed it. I think it's a lot lighter here being on the couch with you ladies, and it was fun. So
it's different because you can actually explore a topic rather than just speaking.
Absolutely.
In a few words on it.
Yeah, it's nice, and we get to, show the breadth of everything and basically going to different topics and not having just talk about counterterrorism all day long like I normally do.
So let me ask you something. Where are things at with the regulation of drones? I mean, I'm sure this is something you have to talk about every day, all day, but I mean, where are we as far as can you fly your drone?
Do you have one here?
We do have one here. I don't want to get in trouble for flying it, but
can we just bring it over? I mean, do you have to fly it over, or can it walk?
No, it can do a lot of very cool things. It can pick up people, or it could take high definition videos and transmit it to command centers. But one of the reasons we went down to Irma to help with drones is we wanted to basically provide first responders with essentially intelligence information to help them understand what they were walking into. With Orlando, there was a lot of concern about all these alligators populating the neighborhoods if the waters rose up too high, and so you can actually use drones to fly over, use the thermal cameras on them to see if there's issues there. But to answer your question,
did you ever see any alligator issues?
No, we didn't, because where we were at, the water didn't get as high as we predicted. But regarding regulations, we're in limbo. I mean, right now with regulations, there's regulations when it comes to more the commercial side of drones for businesses flying them, but pretty much everyday hobbyists are allowed to go out there and fly, which is kind of scary when you think about it.
Come on up.
I woke up one day kind of freaking out.
I don't know your maiden name, but Mrs. Velicovich, come on up.
Yeah, you already look like you're beautiful. Come on, you look great. Your makeup done.
You can take my place. I'm gonna
just be aware that you're in every. I like to tell people you're in every shot. So just
thank you, Joyce, very much. Wow. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, wow. And you didn't trip, which is always my biggest fear.
Look at her. She's working those heels.
Well, they're kind of easy to, I'm worried one day I'm just going to trip when I come on.
Lisa Booth taught me how to walk.
No, you taught me how to walk. Nobody wants to learn from me.
That's not true. All right, look, it's beeping. What's going on?
Well, I always bring a drone everywhere I go, so it's very rare to see me without one, but this one's pretty cool because it really can't hurt you. The propellers are
then I'll stop jumping out of fear.
Yeah, and then
I can look at it.
You just open it up, and then you can set it right here.
And it just goes.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And it recognizes my face, so it'll actually follow me.
You're kidding?
Yeah,
it has face recognition?
Yeah, you see how I'm moving to the right?
What happens when it doesn't recognize mine?
Also,
it might go crazy.
It's a good thing nobody needs their notes anymore.
Oh,
if I started walking, it would follow me around the studio.
Oh, stand up. Let's see.
Oh gosh.
Wow. Oh my God. You can't go far because the microphone's on, so you got to come back. But wow.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
What is the primary use of that particular drone?
This one is just to look cool when you have it.
That's just a sidekick.
Just to impress people.
Yeah. But no, most of them are used to take videos, high definition videos. This one is meant to really follow you around. It's essentially what we call a droney, which is a selfie in the drone world. It's supposed to follow you around. You can ride a bicycle. You can, jog, and it'll take photos of you.
That's only next level selfie stick.
Now I know what I'm getting everyone for Christmas.
How does that work out? You go home and you're like, gosh, I just can't see enough of myself.
It's America. We get stuff like this.
Yeah, there's plenty of people. Please, there are so many people that would utilize that aspect of this.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is life-enhancing in terms of what we've seen with Harvey and Irma that could utilize something like this?
Not this particular one, but the ones we brought down were very industrial-type drones, so they could fly. They were waterproof. They had the ability to have night vision on them, so they could look for victims. We actually had a canine search and rescue team there, so we had a dog with us that, we were basically there as a self-sufficient unit that drones played more of an intelligence support role for. And so we're already seeing a lot of the benefits of it because it used to be all, when you talk about drones, people think of drone strikes, think about big predator drones that are launching missiles. But the truth is, off-the-shelf consumer drones, they've come a long way.
But let me ask you about that because I've tried to ask this 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one more time. If a drone flies in my backyard, what right do I have to shoot that drone down or pull that drone down?
The aerial view is a public view. Even if people are in your backyard, if they're flying, if you took a shotgun and shot it down, you would go to prison. And that's kind of a messed up.
On my property because it's in airspace.
Yes,
that's disturbing, though.
The only places they're regulated are in places like government buildings and areas that are.
Is that a problem?
I think it's a big problem. Yeah, I mean, last year there were 2.5 million drones sold in the U.S. alone. I mean,
how much does one like this cost?
One like this is about $500. Most people are the average one most people buy are actually in the $1,000 range because you can fly them 4 or 5 miles away from the remote. You can live stream the video back to your tablet, so you can see a lot of very close details.
But what if you had access to top secret information? I'm sorry, this is getting
no,
you had access to top secret information, and you are in an office on the second floor of your home, and some 13-year-old kid flies a drone taking pictures up in your window. You have no right to stop that drone.
You have no right. A lot of people. It's happened before. People have been flying drones over children in a backyard, and you think like this is absolutely disgraceful, and a person has come out there and taken a shotgun and shot it down, and they were the ones that got in trouble. But that's what the drone laws do need to change. The FAA is working on it, but it's with any government bureaucracy, it's slow.
You know, I don't talk in detail about the situation because it does affect people that are identifiable, but before we moved in the past year, and it was one of the issues that we had and why we moved, I was droned by a neighbor when I was in the backyard in a swimsuit. Not a big deal, right? It's how I would look going to the beach, except for I thought I had privacy.
Right, yeah.
And I was in
your
literally
own home,
fenced
on your own
in.
property.
Like we used to call our old backyard the playpen. And it was perfect for our kids because you couldn't get out or you couldn't get in. The problem was it was an invasion of privacy, but you're right. So my husband just called the city manager and said, what do we do? Because we know we can't address this on our own. We know we can't do anything to that drone. City manager said, I'll send somebody over.
Well,
from our PD just to talk to.
Did they do anything?
Yeah, they talked to the neighbor and they said you need to be cognizant of the fact that when it crosses your property line, this can become litigious. This can become problematic.
I think
but we couldn't take a shot. We couldn't do anything about that drone, though. We couldn't pull it down. We couldn't touch it.
That's why it's good to just not be able to afford a backyard like me, and then you don't have to worry.
You don't have one that's called a playpen. I don't know.
When you think about it,
rich people problems.
Then you have no backyard. It's really the only reason I don't live in a house.
But
can they come down and
redefine the way we think of fences?
It's a problem.
But think about how we've done fences for centuries. Okay, we might have to redefine a fence, and what the drone community is working on right now is called geofencing, to where if a drone does fly in your area, it can actually block it and put up a wall so it doesn't fly over it.
So
how low? My question is, so the aerial
8 feet down, so you had to really try to come into my yard with the drone.
I can show you videos of Harvey where I was down in people's backyard because I was trying to make sure that they had, they knew where the water was up to their property, and I was a mile away and I could drop it in. The strength of these signals are very good.
I love it.
But could you land a drone on someone else's property?
You could. I mean, it's all about line of sight.
Then can you take the drone or disable the drone or shoot the drone if it lands
actually
on the
a couple
lawn?
weeks ago I was talking about a drone gun that you can actually shoot radio waves at, and it'll stop a drone in the air. So we might even see a new version of the NRA that has drone guns.
Is there a certain elevation that is considered aerial space? Like, for instance,
that's what I was trying to ask. You asked it more succinctly.
It doesn't happen very often. I'll take it this time.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. They say you're not supposed to fly over 400 feet because then you start getting a different class of airspace. And there's all kinds of other smaller laws around airports. A lot of airports are already geofenced off. So if you tried to fly a high-end drone into it, you would actually be stopped. Or if you're inside it, the drone wouldn't even take off at all because it knows it's in a no-fly zone.
So interesting.
Yeah. The drone community is incredible.
How expensive is that, though, to get to protect yourself from?
Right now, it's incredibly expensive because it's all new technology.
No, I just never go outside.
Yeah. A lot of the military bases
one of those guns, and the next time some sucker comes up to do that, you're just like, sure.
Knock them down.
Yeah, gotcha.
Laser style.
So what are you doing right now? Because I know you keep landing in places and helping people out.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do.
So my focus, I'm a small business owner, but my focus as of late has been doing humanitarian projects. So we actually have a whole program where we're taking drone technology and either donating it or providing it to a variety of humanitarian causes. So one of the projects I'm very passionate about right now is what we call the African Eye, which is we're taking military drone technology and repurposing it to do wildlife conservation overseas and do anti-poaching.
Wow.
And so we've got guys right now that are in Kenya. We're going to Somalia in 2 weeks, into Mogadishu, to help the government out there show how to use drones for good.
It's a great way to...
That's really cool.
Artemis 1, thank you for your service, my fellow veteran.
Brett, thank you very, very much.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.